Welcome back to the Enemies of the Fire podcast. This week we talk about the Chicago Fire, we talk about drama with the U.S. men's national team, and I screw up the intro a couple times. Serena, how are you doing today? We are Sam's DPG. What's up?
I'm good, yeah. Like you said, maybe not that much going on this week, but also a lot at the same time otherwise, so
It's hilarious.
A big mix.
The week we took off, there was hella stuff to talk about. Like, I wanted to parade around over like Italy and all that stuff, but anyway. So I guess we should just get straight into it. The Chicago Fire had a pretty interesting 1-0 win this weekend, or this past weekend, I should say, against Nashville, which, boy, oh boy.
We both missed the goal because we were talking to each other, and the goal happened in the first 40 seconds of the game.
So that's 17, the first 16, it's 16 seconds, which is the fastest goal in club history, which that's pretty rad. Zinckernagel scores right away. You know, put him out on the wing, 16 seconds in, scores a goal.
Yeah. And then nothing else happened.
Yeah, we laugh, but it kind of was a boring game. And when you're up 1-0 after 17 seconds, it's the kind of boring game that you can get down with. But
I think what was funny too is just like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not too proud to say that I was telling people we were gonna get smoked going into the game.
Well, I mean, this is still their first loss, isn't it? I think it is. I think this is Nashville. This last weekend against the Fire was Nashville's first loss. So, and I don't think anyone would say that was we would be the team to do it. I mean, again, not to hate too much, but like, it's not like we've won all of our games either. So, I think that was a reasonable assumption on your part.
Good. Yeah, it's not like we've been looking. Let's back up because my favorite part about this podcast is there's no drama. So we were talking. We were talking and then Zinckernagel scores, but the lineup came out and everybody kind of started freaking out because there was no Hugo Kuipers. Now, I've still yet to hear anything about what's really going on.
Same. In fact, I wonder if that might have been even what we were actually talking about in that first 15 seconds. Yeah, I haven't heard anything and I haven't seen anything. And it is strange because even if it was like a personal issue, I feel like they usually even just say that. So maybe it's just really bad in practice.
Well, I doubt. I mean, it's got to be something.
I'm joking, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You don't want to freak out. You don't want to freak out over anything, but also like, I definitely know Greg is the kind of guy who's going to have the attitude of like, oh, it's March. Let's not risk anything, right? So, but
it does. It just feels like of all games, this wouldn't be the one I'd be like, let's rest the best striker, like unless he really was chalking it up to a loss, which it didn't seem like because we honestly defended obviously really well because we managed to hold them off.
Yes, we did. Well, I mean. It wasn't pretty, but like, again, we didn't have Kuipers, which that's a huge deal. Like, I'm sorry, I'm typing, trying to find the lineup. I should have had this, but Marinhall Silase was up front. Bamba and Zinckernagel on the wings led it. So we finally got what I wanted, which was Zinckernagel on the wing. How did you feel about the midfield? Lud, Avila, Selatros.
I mean, in this kind of game, I feel like didn't notice them kind of in a good way in the sense, not in a good way in the sense they were not helping the attack at all, obviously, because, I don't have the stats in front of me, but like shots on goal probably wasn't like crazy. I feel like they obviously, did a decent job with the defending, but honestly, a lot of the defending, I think we had Brady, man of the match. He had some insane saves. So like, it wasn't like the ball wasn't getting past them either. I think they were just kind of average. I don't think they particularly worked like super well together or anything.
Shockingly enough, we actually had more shots, at least in the game, like early on, right, when it was actually like in question. We had more shots than Nashville, which was crazy because they had way more possession of the ball. At least it felt that way. But, I mean, you're right. The midfield not they didn't make a name for themselves, but they also didn't screw anything up. Avila, his yellow card, like,
He was
I
good.
don't know, man. The game was
I think
starting
he
to
was
get
good
away from.
otherwise, though.
Yeah, so the game was getting away from the ref a little bit. There was a couple yellow cards. Like, I'm not a lover of Selatros, but he got one as well. And
Yeah.
so thankfully that kind of
I am
settled down.
getting memories of being like many beers deep and like screaming about that, like being really mad about that. So thank you for reminding me.
Oh, that was the best part was Serena was like, "Oh, I got fed free beer all day. I'm which also explains why I got the like, "Oh, we're getting in right now. I'll be right there." And then 30 something minutes later, here comes Andrew.
Yeah.
So that kind of explains that. But
Well, once you start drinking beer beforehand, all you want to do is obviously drink more beer. So like again, in the stadium, and I'm like, it's time. I want more beer.
Well, you can't
actually,
stop
though,
or else you fall asleep.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
boom.
Exactly. I will say also the part of that was because we got a new jersey. Andrew got the like his credit, whatever, for not getting the parking pass. He got his credit, so he got a TLB jersey. And so we had to order that at the store beforehand, so just to defend myself a little bit, the 30 minutes wasn't all me buying beer and drinking beer. A lot of it, but.
Well, no, so that's another thing. So, Andrew caught, last season, got the Zinckernagel shirt early before he really popped off. And now this year he got the Mbokazi. So he's been playing really well, which I guess to wrap us back to the lineup, another thing is Jack Elliott was back on the field playing with Mbokazi.
Okay. And I think you pointed that out to me, and I like, obviously I had seen his name in the lineup, but it wasn't clicking for me that I think, like we both said, he could have died and like was obviously very, very sick, and I think lost something like 8 pounds, maybe you said.
Yeah.
And didn't have that much weight on his frame to lose generally. So like seeing him out there, I was like, is this wise? What doctor okayed this? Like, did Greg have like a knife to the doctor's
who cleared
throat?
this?
Yeah. I just like didn't think that's how sepsis worked, but I mean, I'm glad he's okay, I guess.
I realized it when like I noticed something like either he went up for a ball and didn't get it, or he was a little slow on something, and I was thinking, oh man, come on. And then I was like, wait a second, that's Jack Elliott. I cannot complain about this.
Yeah. He's on his last, I mean, actually, I won't even say that, but I was surprised that he wasn't even at least subbed at half. Like, he stayed on for a little bit longer. I think he was subbed in, let's see, I think like the 60 something minute, like maybe at that stage, but like, I kind of thought there'd be more management of his health. So, and like, he was fine. I think, again, obviously the defense didn't concede, so that's great, but I'm like, was he necessary? Like,
well, apparently Waterman was a late scratch, so I think that's why he even went in to start with, and then remember Cups replaced him, and I gotta say, big up to Cups, because I was terrified putting a 17-year-old in there with that very flimsy 1-0 lead.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, I will say, again, could have been the beers talking, but I felt there have been times where we had a 1-0 lead or a 2-0 lead, and I felt less confident. Just like, again, it wasn't like we had a ton of possession or anything. It was just more like things weren't really happening, like on either end of the goal. Like, there was just a lot of getting clogged up in the midfield, and like to the point where I feel like we weren't like, there were a few shots, especially towards the end, where it feels like we were all kind of collectively like, oh no. But like on the whole, the game wasn't full of that, which is kind of what I'm used to in the events where the Fire is up 1 or 2-0. Like, I'm used to
be a very
kind of like grabbing your
thing.
heart. Yeah. And this, like, I guess I'm saying, oh, they weren't that great, whatever, blah, blah. But I didn't feel as nervous as I normally do. So I guess that is saying something.
Well, I don't want to sound like a hater, but I will say this. It did very much feel like a mix between the Fire playing good defense and literally like nothing going right for Nashville. Not that they weren't getting calls, but just like every bounce of the ball was wrong. Just nothing was going right for them, which is great for us. But we needed we needed a game like this. We needed a game like last week. Like I said, I was freaking
just
out.
some luck.
Yeah, we needed some 3-pointers. Winning cures a lot of problems. You know,
Yeah.
you hear me not screaming and complaining about the midfield like that. Winning solves a lot of problems. And then I guess you brought this up earlier, but Chris Brady is showing what I believe is the talent of the number one goalkeeper in the U.S. But that's just little old me. Um, so overall, I think he had a good game. I think there's other things we can point to, but first and foremost, the like play of the game, even over the goal, is like that free kick save on Hani Mukhtar.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
That was crazy. And that was definitely one of the few heart-stopping moments where, like, again, it was kind of far, but you see it happening and you're like, oh, fuck, that's definitely going in. And then Brady saved the day. So
He had it
good for
covered.
him.
It felt like he had it covered, and you just, it was rough.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I guess Mukhtar and Stutridge or whatever his name is didn't really have
Sturridge.
Sturridge. That's what it is. Who's? Oh God,
I like Stutridge though.
Well, that's somebody English, isn't it? From back in the day.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
It sounds
But
it.
anyway, sorry. So what did we think of Marin Holly Selassie up front? Well, not good. Not great. Not his
Yeah.
position though.
I mean,
Not
I
his
just feel so,
position.
it's exactly. Yeah. Let's you can't blame him. I feel like we're both of us are pretty pro him, so I feel bad saying. But there are just times where I feel like he's just off, and it wasn't. I mean, again, he didn't make any. I actually think maybe compared to the previous game, there were fewer missed shots or like completely just like shanked it over the goal. But that did happen. Still, it just happened, I think, a little bit less. And otherwise, it was more just like about him not really being, again, like you said, like not making a name for himself. So
Yeah, it's just not his position. Now, I don't know. Question to you: would you have rather seen Shukaluk start over Marin Holly Selassie in that
no,
situation? No.
no, no. I just don't. I haven't seen enough of him. I don't know. I think if the lineups had come out and that had been the lineup, I would have been like, what is Greg thinking? Like, why? Like, is he throwing this game? Just again, like, not that I think Shukaluk is bad. I just don't know. He hasn't proven himself in that position, and I feel like this would be kind of a crazy game to start.
I mean,
Like to do it, you know?
you're not wrong, but like, I don't know. I would have felt good about having a striker in that position. Like, I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're talking about strikers. Like, if you're not putting the guy in, like, I mean, think about all the
Yeah,
chances
of
he gave to
course.
Tom Barlow.
Of course. I guess I just like I also wouldn't have wanted him to give it. I mean, yeah, Tom Barlow. I think we all agree we didn't like any of the chances that he was giving him.
Dude,
But like
Tom
I just
Barlow
think
has scored more goals already this season.
I know. He hated being in Chicago. Like he actually must just have hated it. I don't there's no other explanation. Maybe you
Oh,
could
he got a
sense
lot
the
of hate.
like disdain. Yeah.
He did get a lot
Um
of hate.
he just turns
But
to the stands and everybody's like, why? Why is he on? Why is he playing? Why does he play soccer at all? Like he sucks. Retire.
Why does he play soccer at all? All right, so I'm gonna bring something up, and I'm gonna tell you, I think honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, this player, I think he signed last season or in between the windows. I don't think this podcast has mentioned this dude once. Not only like have we not really talked about him, I don't think we've even uttered his name. Radanovic. Now he came on.
Did we not talk about him? I feel like I remember us talking about him maybe in the chat during one game because I remember saying I liked him because he's kind of like he's super chaotic and I always appreciate that.
Yeah, I always appreciate chaos. I like that.
I do.
Well, I mean, in the past, I've seen like he's gotten some garbage minutes and didn't really stand out. And to me, he hasn't until literally now, right? Like he's in the rotation at this point.
Yeah. I guess it was the what game was it? I'm trying to remember. I think maybe it was honestly the DC United game. There was there was one of the games where I remember him coming on again, like for 10 minutes at the end, and he just was like taking people out left and right. He got a yellow, but like I wasn't even that mad about it because he at least injected some energy into kind of what was at that point of the game, like a kind of flailing midfield and flailing. Honestly, the whole kind of just looked very dead team. And again, like I think I can say that with the comfort of knowing that he hasn't yet done something really horror, like he hasn't fucked us over and like gotten a red card in a really inopportune moment or something like that. But at the same time, there are players who have done that, have gotten reds at inopportune moments, and also aren't even being energetic or chaotic. So
Fair. Well,
you
I
know,
mean that's the thing. I think you're right. I think we never mentioned it, but he was like the one bright spot at an end of that DC game, right? But then again,
yeah.
I haven't dissected the goal. Who knows who was truly at fault? But I haven't heard anybody scream his name, so I'll just leave it at that. But so oh my god, that I think we could put a bow on that game. Brady, what one thing that I do, let's talk slightly outside of, let's talk around the stadium. It was good to see everybody again, man. I don't know, it hasn't been that long, but boy did the tailgate got to see everybody. Um let's see here. I
Not
actually
me,
drove
because I
to
was standing outside the stadium drinking beer by myself. But I'm glad you had fun.
Oh my god. You know what? I drove. I'm going to start driving. I'm going to try and save some money on Uber. So, you guys, if you want to show up at 4:45, you can ride with me.
Yeah, it's always just feels so early to me. Not that I don't like. Obviously I like drinking before the game a lot, and like the concept of tailgating is fun, but I don't like getting there. I don't like getting to the grounds that early for some reason. Like I'd usually rather just go. But the problem with Soldier Field is there isn't a bar nearby. Like you have to always walk the 20 minutes. I think again that'll be great with the new stadium. It seems like there will be. I mean, I'm sure the beer is going to be $20 also at whatever bar
Well,
is like near there. But
I'll say this. I went to a St. Louis game, and their stadium, I really like how they have it laid out. They have like a stadium, and then they got these two, like a ginormous bar and like a little bar, and then a dispensary and like a huge parking lot. But I can tell you, without a shadow of doubt, we tried to go and hang out at the big bar, and it was so packed. You
mm,
couldn't you couldn't get a drink. You know what I mean? Like it was still better
yeah,
to just be out in the parking lot, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess I'm doing that just obnoxious thing where I'm like, I just got back from Germany like a month ago, and when you're there, you can just drink beer and walk around wherever you want. Like you don't have to be constricted. Like you don't have to be stuck in a parking lot. Especially like if I'm not driving, it always feels just sort of like I'm like, all right, we're gonna walk the 20 minutes from the Roosevelt stop and then walk another 10 minutes to a parking lot, like, which is why
right.
it's not always top of mind for me. But whenever you remind me of it, it always does sound fun, and I should. Like I've had fun in the past. I should just do it.
It's
But
a
yeah, the
good
not
time.
driving
Like
thing makes it tough.
I don't drink. I don't usually drink,
Yeah.
especially if I'm driving. Like I don't drink at all, even before the game. But I'd be having a good time. People out there see me, I'd be having a good time. Now, um, so I guess I brought up all that dumb stuff to bring up the fact that what I really loved about this at the end of this game was at the end, even though Zink scored and we all should have been so happy because we've been so uptight about him scoring, everybody was
True.
chanting Brady, and the players were pushing him over to the stands to get like
Yeah,
get his love, get his shine, and it was really cool to see
that was
kind of
cute.
the team and the fans all like in a good mood again. It
Yeah,
was nice.
yeah. I forgot about that. They did. Yeah, they were kind of clapping him up to us, and then he got the chant, I think, from us. And he gave the gloves to people in the section, and yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I was definitely happy about that. Now, I forgot to bring up the MLS standings, which I will bring up right now. So
It
we are in 5th place in the Eastern Conference.
works.
And this weekend, our friends from the ATL come to town, which, where are they? I was on the West.
Way lower.
They are in
12th, I
12th
think.
place with
Yeah.
4 points. 1, 1, and 4. I'm not, but I shouldn't. I feel like I should be. I'm not worried. Are you?
No, but I mean, there's just a cop out. But I think as last game showed, like it's hard to the Fire right now. Just I feel like are hard to predict. Like I can't. I still haven't gotten a good read on how all the players are working together, especially with all the lineups being constantly shifted and like Kuiper's not being there. Like that's obviously again going to make a huge, or I would think it would make a huge difference. But then he wasn't there last game and they won, even though we didn't think we were going to. So it's all kind of like there are just all these elements kind of in the air, and I feel like I'm still trying to catch all of them and figure out, what's gonna stick. So I'm gonna cautiously say I'm not worried, but you never know.
You never know. I mean, I gotta tell you, I I'm an optimist, but within me lives this pessimistic person, and that person says, Manuel Latte Loft hasn't been playing well. This is the exact game for him to start playing well again.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. We're like, yeah, you just
but like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Latte Loft's not playing well. They ask Miguel Almiron to do young man Miguel Almiron things instead of asking him to do what he can do now. Like, I don't really know anything else about them. I don't know about any kind of youth movement or anything happening over in Atlanta, and they're in 12th place. Like, in a just world, we win this game and look good doing it.
I think their only win was against Philadelphia, which I think we've determined doesn't count because Philadelphia hasn't won it like any. That's like the bye game,
Let's give it up to Philadelphia. Really great to see 0-0 and 6. Just really sucking it up. Just 0 points.
Suckers.
I usually worry about karma, but in this instance, I shall not. It feels good. Anyway,
it does.
So, God,
Atlanta.
Back to Atlanta. Again, that's our research. We don't know nothing about Atlanta really, but we kind of know all about Atlanta. You watch enough MLS, you know all about MLS, I guess.
Yeah. I did just realize I'm kind of wearing Atlanta colors, so there's that. Should have changed.
Yeah, well, it's it's for the next segment.
Clear.
So you could wear that.
True.
Anyway, so I guess in final, do you have a prediction?
I'm gonna say, again, hard to know with Kuiper not being there. Like hard to know what our offense is gonna look like, but I'm gonna say 2-1.
I was gonna go 2-1. I'll even
all right.
Zink will give you another one, and then Bomba will give you one, and Kuipers or Shukaluk will start. Those are my predictions. We shall see.
I could see this game. I could see a Shukaluk start. Like that would make a little bit more sense to me. I could even see a Mbokazi goal. I feel like I kind of want it to happen so badly that I kind of just want to predict it every time until it does. Like, I feel like he's had some really good long balls and even kind of almost shots. And I feel like he can score. So that would always be really fun. I love a good, any person in his position scoring, I love.
Defender scoring is great. Even if they're wingers, really, like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Scoring. No matter what, yeah. But then I'll go, if Kuipers is back, Kuipers goal. If not, Bamba. That's
nice. All right. So, I guess that's all for the Chicago Fire this week. Listen, now is the perfect time for you to like and subscribe and do all that stuff while we're about to go to a quick break. Now, just do it. It's right there. It's right there. Welcome back, fellow enemies. We are here to speak about something that we took a week off because of, which is the U.S. Men's National Team. Serena's favorite thing. Yay! Anyway, No, seriously. Serena, this is the perfect time to what's the German word? Schadenfreude?
Yeah, close enough.
So
I was actually going to say we took the week off because we were actually so disappointed and heartbroken at the results from the international week friendlies. That's why we took the week. That's why I took the week off. I just couldn't handle it. It's too
she
emotional.
called into work. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Inconsolable.
Yeah. I sat in the dark the whole time.
No, I gotta be perfectly honest, man. The best player on the team, which we will talk about, and the coach make it pretty impossible for me to like this team. And the men's national team used to be my favorite team, even above the Fire. But now it's just, it's hard to root for them, man. But if you do, this past international break was ugly. It was very ugly. They just we're not going to get in depth about the games at all. I will just say I just feel as though Pochettino did not know what he was getting into, has no idea about the talent that he has at his disposal, and or doesn't. And just we wasted 3 years to hire a guy to do a rush job. And it was stupid, and we wasted some of the most talented players we have ever seen play for this country. And a lot of their careers have stalled as well. But anyway, so that's it. That's my analysis of the U.S. men's national team. We are here to talk about all the TMZ style drama. Girl, tell the people what we found out. Tell the people what is happening. What has happened with young Christian Pulisic?
Well, and actually the funny thing, before I even get into it, I heard, so this is all based around some comments on an Instagram post posted by his Pulisic's ex-girlfriend, golfer, the name I'm not remembering right now.
Alexa something or other. I got it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Alexa Melton.
Yeah. I heard now that these comments have been deleted since, but I didn't realize how long ago this was posted, like the gossip was posted before I sent it to, I think, our group. I think I might have gotten it like 3 minutes after it was posted. So I went to her account after reading on Twitter. I went to the account and I saw the comments with my own eyes. Like it's all real. I guess the tea being that, I mean, they broke up, and at some point, either like way too soon after the breakup, or who knows what the timeline looks like, Christian was on Raya, the dating app for celebrities and influencers, with a profile that was quite mockable. It was great.
Oh man, that is great. Now I have the quote, was on Raya before it even ended. So,
right.
First and foremost, we were talking about this in the group chat, Fast and Furious, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is Tinder or not. I did all my hoeing in real life. I've never signed up for the apps, but so yeah, I had no idea this Raya was a thing. Had no idea. Just
you have to be invited.
World.
I know a few people who've been on it. That's like, it's a classic way that I think celebrities are kind of quote unquote, like I think Ben Affleck was on there, and like some influencers or people that are on it who see these. I think there's like probably an unwritten code that you're not supposed to say anything, but like occasionally somebody will be like, here's this weird video Ben Affleck sent me, like of him being really thirsty, and it'll go viral or whatever. So it's actually, I think what's funny to me, what's extra funny is that this profile of him only came out after his ex or girlfriend at the time, like kind of revealed this first, and it wasn't even something that was like gonna come out otherwise. And then the second funniest part, or actually still maybe the funniest part, was that he had traveling to Nashville in his bio, like traveling to Nashville October 8th to 18th in his bio.
And that was during like the national team and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so funny.
Man. So people were like, oh man, he's too busy on Raya to play well.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of it is, I mean, like, on one hand, I'm kind of like, this almost legitimizes him more in that, like, he at least is kind of doing something marginally interesting. Like, he's so boring otherwise, other than being like a dick, like, from a political
Oh yeah.
perspective, like, his personality otherwise, like, I'm like, at least there's some gossip and like there kind of feels almost like he's a real footballer in a way, like in a kind of a classic like
Yeah,
Man
we're a real
United
footballing
out
nation now,
clubbing.
baby.
Yeah, like look, our players have gossip too. Like, but on the other hand, it's not a good look when it's one thing when like yeah, whatever you got Man United players who are like going in for the treble who are also like seen at the club. That's one thing when you have him this all coming out and he's like the team's playing like shit and they just lost 5-2 to Belgium like not great timing or great look for him.
No, it's not a good look, but I will say this. I I believe people are adults. Do whatever in the world you want to
Yeah,
do. That shit does
of
not bother
course.
me. Just it's the cheating part. That's when it's okay to expose them. If people are cheating, that's when you expose them. But beyond
Yeah.
that,
I think
like
it's her prerogative to do that and he by doing like by, doing what she said he did, that's like going to be a repercussion is that if she finds out then she's going to tell the whole internet. So,
yeah, and you're just gonna look foolish, and we're gonna
yeah.
clown on you because again, you said it like being a dick, like dude, dude was is the best player on this team, and then like scores a goal and does that stupid ass dance, and like ever since A hasn't scored since then, but B
Yeah.
like
Whole
it
personal
makes
life
every
down the drain.
yeah, it like let's pretend what what the majority number of fans would be for a soccer team. Just I don't know. It alienated like the U.S. men's national team is supposed to be the place where it's like, all right, Jeff Cameron, I don't care what you have to say. Let's win some goddamn games, right? So like that's where you're supposed to come together, and like it was a dividing action. So now when stuff like this happens, instead of defending you or being like, oh, that's dumb, now we're just gonna sit here and clown on you because like
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and you bring it on, it just sucks. All of it sucks. It was way cooler when we had no fucking clue what these guys were like. Like
Yeah.
although
Well, and it's like you said, he has no cachet. Like there are some guys who are like, okay, this kind of stuff, but then there's like other things you could say. Well, I really like this about him. Like Pulisic, like you said, he just hasn't. He built nothing else up. Like there is nothing to defend. Like yeah, he's
yeah,
like a good player, but he hasn't even been that good. And on top of that, there's literally nothing else.
so yeah, it just is what it is, man. But like it's funny, like we joked about, like we're a real footballing nation now. We have this kind of scandal. It's on it's on the New York Post and stuff. So
Yeah.
whatever, what have you. So now that we're done laughing at Christian Pulisic, I want to talk about something
Never.
serious. Yeah, never. Right? No, in all seriousness, I guess I have one question for you, Serena. Do you want to talk about the bullshit, or do you want to talk about the sunshine and lollipops?
When it comes to what topic?
Okay, so we're talking about the EFL. Now, I know we are usually a Fire and MLS podcast, but there's some interesting things happening in England right now. And I guess we'll go with the bad news, with the bullshit. Leicester City is almost guaranteed to be relegated. If not, they are guaranteed actually to be relegated, and Sheffield Wednesday as well, based on not just the fact that they were terrible this year, but like points deductions. Leicester got 6-point deduction. Got a 6-point deduction for what was it that they did? They broke financial fair play, dude. Are you serious? Leicester City, who gave the world the probably top 10 this entire century from 2000 to 3000 or century, oh my god, that's a millennia, probably this whole millennia. One of the coolest things in sports ever will be Leicester City's 2016 premiership title, right? And
Yeah.
you're telling me we're going to dock Leicester City, kick them down to League One, and Manchester City still hasn't even addressed like 1,000 charges. Like, They
All of them. Yeah. I mean, not just Man City. I feel like all of them. I don't have the numbers or whatever to prove it, but they all get breaks and things like that. Like they're just too much. The money, they're money makers, and everybody knows that. So they're all going to get all of these breaks. Whereas, like many things in life, the people that are below the top are the ones who actually get the punishment, and then it's just a self-fulfilling cycle.
Yeah, it's bullshit. We have sworn. I was going into this episode like, man, I'm gonna edit out all the swearing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We have.
This is more me. I'm just in that mood.
But no, like, okay, I don't love Leicester City, but again, come on, 2016 Premier League title run was incredible, and like, you're telling me that Manchester City and Bayern Munich and all these teams that are the only teams that we only ever see are all good, but little Leicester City, like, nah, you guys broke the rules. Like, that's bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say Bayern Munich, I think, is probably held to a higher standard than some of the, not just as a Bundesliga fan. Like, obviously, I'm not a big Bayern Munich fan, but the league is just a lot more stringent on that. Like, they probably get the most leeway of all the Bundesliga teams, but like what they get is so nothing compared to what any of the Premier League teams get. Like, in terms of of getting away with things.
I guess that they're a bad example, but still, just like Manchester City, Manchester United, like, I mean, all these teams, it's kind of, I don't know. I find it absolutely ridiculous. It pisses me off. I cannot believe that Leicester is going to be, or, in League One. Absolutely crazy talk. So, anyway.
What was it that they did? Do you know? Like, what were
just breaking. So, with the financial fair play, the part of the problem is, like, let's say you sign a couple guys, they get injured, and you underperform.
But,
all of a sudden,
like, do you know who they signed? Like, I'm just wondering, like, what were the big spending that? Because usually it has to, like, I would imagine had to be pretty significant. Like, the amount must be decent. I just wonder if they had anything to show for it. Like, were there guys that should have been really good and then got injured? Like, that's
it might have been when they had that rough season when they had like Ndidi and a few other guys. Like, because the thing is, it's not necessarily like, oh, they signed this guy, now they're 50 million over. It's more like, oh, you didn't do as well, so you only won X amount of dollars, which means now you're operating at a 70% loss instead of a 65, which means now you're in trouble instead of, like, had you finished £2 places higher. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's just dumb and it's bullshit. I literally have no other word for it. I've said that word like 17 times now. But I don't know, man. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Everything's terrible. I don't know. Did you see in Ontario, California, some guy video where it was at like a gigantic warehouse and filmed himself on Instagram Live lighting all like the toilet paper, pallets of toilet paper on fire and burning the warehouse down. And he said, all you had to do was pay us a livable wage. That was his quote. That's all you had to do was pay us enough to live, and this wouldn't have happened. And so,
I did not see that.
I'm not suggesting that's what we do for football, but I mean, there are crazier ideas. Anyway, so
I mean, and again, and not to be Bundesliga preacher, and obviously like Leverkusen is not the good example because they do not follow 50+1, but like that's one way to try. There are obviously people that would say that there are downsides to that, and it does make it hard to compete with things like the Premier League, where the thing that's supposed to be regulating your finances just gives free passes out to people that perform like extraordinarily well. But yeah, I agree. There's just like, what is the answer?
There is no answer. Now, you just blew my mind with the whole Bayern doesn't have to adhere to 50+1.
No, Bayern, Leverkusen. It's Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, and Leipzig, because they were owned by company, like they, not to say that Leverkusen isn't still fan owned in some way, but it's not. It's I think the buyer, the company owns, because Leverkusen was like a factory team back in the day, so it was like the buyer, like aspirin company team,
So
like that was
wait,
like the
doesn't Monsanto own that now? Hold on. Are we saying does Monsanto own Bayer Leverkusen? Hold on.
I don't think, I'm pretty sure Bayer is its own, but like they've always been in Leverkusen in that town, and so it was like a Leverkusen gymnasium. It was all Leverkusen. Like the reason the team exists is because Bayer employees wanted a team, like a company team. So because of that history, Bayer is like one of the teams that's allowed to have. They're allowed to be exceptions of the to the 50+1 rule, and then the other ones are Leipzig, which is Red Bull, and then Wolfsburg, which is VW.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Is
Yeah.
God, what's the one that I see? I don't know if you're gonna know this name because you're so much younger. Edson Buttle left LA to go play for somebody in Germany where they got like a free car. Every player got a free car. I can't
I
because
mean,
it was owned by.
sounds like it would be Wolfsburg, but
It wasn't Wolfsburg though. It was a second. It was like a Bundesliga 2 team or what a 2 dot Bundesliga.
FC Ingolstadt 04 is
Yes,
what I'm seeing.
that's exactly
Famous club.
Ingolstadt. That's exactly who it was. Okay. All right. So before
Audi. Okay, yeah. Audi. Okay, Audi was their manufacturing was based in Ingolstadt, so that must, yeah, that must have been it.
that's exactly what it was. But he said it took like 2 years to get the car. Anyway.
They had to make it from scratch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they did. He got to pick everything out about it, and he didn't even play there that long. Anyway, so since we're in a better mood, we're done talking about points deductions. I guess the other thing I wanted to mention because of the clicks, no, because I care about it. No, Wrexham is in 7th place. They have a game in hand. No, they do not. Southampton, who's ahead of them, have a game in hand, and there are 3 teams tied for second, basically, on points. It's
So what happened? Because I feel like one of our first episodes of the season, Wrexham they were like third, right?
no, well, Wrexham started the year terrible. They were like in relegation zone, but yes, they got to about they've been in the playoffs like the last couple months. They've been in the playoff positions, but they lost to Southampton over the weekend, and now they're on 64 points. They only have 5 games left to play now. So Coventry, I think Coventry's through. They got 84 points. They're immediate Premier League team. Welcome to the relegation fight, Coventry. Now, it's tied on 72 points, but with 2 games in hand, the Nigel Forges, Ipswich Town, and then they're tied with Middlesbrough and everyone's favorite, Millwall. Can the world survive Millwall in the Premiership?
Ipswich, though, that really gets me. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no.
I forgot about the Nigel. Yeah.
No,
wasn't even that long ago, but
oddly, things are people like institutions and businesses are super cool with Nazis these days. It's really weird.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised based on the way everything else is going. Like, of course, but
anyway, and then I guess rounding out of the playoffs is Hull and Southampton. Now, if you ask me, I want Wrexham to make the jump. Like, if this team could legit promote, like back to back. I don't know, man. That's pretty close to on par with like Leicester City winning the Premier League.
This maybe is a dumb question. I haven't watched the show, so I don't know anything really about them other than like I watched maybe the first episode. But who is their manager, and does he have anything to do with their? Like, I'm obviously has something to do with it because how could he not? But like, has it been the same manager for each season, or is it a different guy?
Yeah, so it's been the same guy. And he seems pretty cool. So like they they bought the team kind of mid-season, and the team was in the playoffs, and they really didn't they didn't get any players, they didn't fire the coach, they kind of waited, and they lost in the playoffs and didn't get promoted. So then they clean house. And so since they cleaned house then, they've had the same manager, and they had a lot of the same players until about the championship here. This is about the time this team really changed. Now, I mean, they've had some fun players like the Ben Foster played for him for a season, help him get promoted. Like they had Steven Fletcher for a little while, which he's doing the man bun thing these days, I think. Or well, so like I'll say this. The show, I'm only watching it because of the novelty of the fact that they continually get promoted. But as far as enjoyment, the first 2 seasons are where it's at. Like if you watch the first 2 seasons, it's very it's organic, man. Like it's as organic as that kind of thing could possibly be. Like I shouldn't say it's organic. It's just these guys said we want to buy a team that's got a romantic story that like we can infuse the money to make something happen. And so that's what they did. And as you can see in the first couple seasons, it really is like a huge help to the town. It's a really big deal. Like the people are like it's bringing something to people in the area. But then like the last season they just aired, or I mean, it's been almost a year at this point, is when you're starting to see gentrification rear its ugly head in Wales. So
is it over? Is the show over?
No, I mean, I really don't think the show's going to be over until they make it to the well, either the show.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Like, if they actually make it, like, let's say they make it to the Premier League, are they going to continue the show, or is that kind of like, all right, we did it? And again, like, knock on wood, I don't know that they're going to, but
just curious. I mean, if I was a TV executive, I would have it done until unless they eventually got to a point where it's like, yeah, Wrexham fighting for the title. Then let's call the camera crews in the season,
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to just have the whole season be them floundering in the Premier League.
No, I mean, honestly, I take that back. Actually, I do. I want to see a whole season of complete abject failure and floundering. Because
yeah.
We even made the joke on the podcast, Wrexham, welcome to being Millwall. Right? Like you're about to be here for 10 years, right? And they're in 7th place. They might really do it. They're on 41 games. They're on 52. No, not 52. I closed it out. But they're on 42 points.
60 something you said?
No,
64.
Okay, 64. Yeah, and then Southampton's at 66. That's what it is. But Southampton's got that game in hand. But you have Hull, and Hull could always crap the bed. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for a Hull or South. They really didn't do themselves any favors because it looks like, unless I'm a crazy person, yeah, literally yesterday they lost 5-1 to Southampton.
Ooh.
Which, yeah,
Southampton's been on a run.
Yeah, you said they beat Arsenal. Yeah,
they beat them in the FA Cup, which is amazing because, well, for many reasons, I find Arsenal fans really annoying. Mostly just from having interacted with them.
But, we are in total agreement on that. Total agreement.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the whole thing this season was Arsenal's they're gonna get the quad, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, that matters. Champions League title, now knocked out of both cups and knocked out by Southampton, which is even funnier because it's just, I don't really care which team it is in the championship, but just the fact that it is a team in the championship is really funny. And honestly, they could very well be knocked out of the champ. I mean, again, knock on wood, and I don't actually know that it's going to go this way. Also, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know for sure, but they only beat Sporting Portugal 1-0, I think, and it was kind of I think it was a 90th minute goal by Kai Havertz. Let's see.
What is the Premier? I haven't looked at the Premier League in a while. How does that?
Well, they're still that one. they might get.
Oh,
They're still at the top.
holy crap.
They've been at the top for a while, and they are like really, yeah. So that one.
Yeah, they're 9 points ahead of Man City.
Yeah, they're smoking everybody. Yeah, it's that one. We can give that to them. Like, I'm sure that'll be
No, but
huge,
that's
and
the
they'll make
funny
a
one.
big
That's
enough
the
deal.
one they
I
don't.
know that's the thing. I know that they're gonna make a big enough deal about that. It'll be as annoying, if not more annoying, than if they had one. But actually, I don't think that's true. Imagine though, that plus a treble or winning all of them, like it just would have been so
it would have been,
annoying.
yeah, it would have been terrible.
Even living in the US where like you'd think we wouldn't come across that many Arsenal fans out there, but they're everywhere.
Well, they did that. They did good advertising in the States, like Manchester United did. I mean, well, honestly, let's not pretend. Like the Thierry Henry, the Invincibles, like that literally is why. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm looking at the Premier League. This shit is rad. I can't. Tottenham, please make it happen. Please, Tottenham, West Ham.
I know they're
you.
like a stone.
And I mean, Everton is dude. Do you remember?
And they have been all season. They were even higher earlier.
When I told you they were going down and they were never coming back up.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I was
the
dead wrong
Bundesliga joke
that.
for you. They're the Hoffenheim of the Premier League. Both blue teams too.
So Hoffenheim never gets relegated, do they?
Well, no, just that Hoffenheim is also like fourth, I think, or something. Maybe they've dropped a little bit because they haven't been as good in the past 2 weeks, but they almost got relegated, I think, the past 2 seasons, and now they're fifth. Yeah. So they're going to be in Europa League. They're above Leverkusen. Leverkusen's at 6. So it's a similar sort of thing where it's just like some random club that like doesn't even have famous or great players, but somehow it's just all working for them. And I'm sure both teams, they're going to sell their best players if they actually do get any sort of accolade. Like if they finish the season in the top 5, like I'm sure none of those teams are going to stay. So yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny is I'm looking at the Premier League standings and I'm just thinking it reminded me of something. Like, I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse, and let's just touch on this for just a second and get out of here. You know, with the Major League Soccer changing their schedule, no, I've never heard anybody talk about this, but it's something I've loved about the schedule we have, which is when our season is over, there's still soccer.
Yeah, I know.
And then when the European stuff is over, we're rocking and rolling, right? So it's like we're going into the good stuff. So it's like now everything's like now there's going to be an off season and it's going to suck and be so boring.
It that does suck, and I remember us talking about that when this was first like even being discussed. That is one of my favorite things is like I watch a ton of obviously watch a ton of German soccer, but like when that ends, then I have the Fire, and it is just like a nice. And then usually there's a every however many years there's something going on in the summer for like a Euro or World Cup. Like it's so spoiled, but it's gonna end.
Are you looking forward to the sprint season? I want us to win that one.
Yeah.
Just the little asterisks of history right there.
Yeah. It's got to be, exactly. The first and only team.
It'll be like the MLS is back tournament, right? Like,
yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see the Fire. Yeah, see our name up there forever.
No, that would actually that would be painful. That would be painful if we did that and then all of a sudden like the next year.
Yeah, and you know what? That totally would, and then that would give everybody an excuse to say, like, "Oh, the Fire can only win whatever half seasons or quarter seasons or whatever."
Well, they can't say shit. We won the double in our first year. And speaking of which, we did the double here. There was only 2 of us. DPG, we still love you. But yeah, it was a fun time. Serena, thank you for joining me and the other enemies of the Fire this evening. I really appreciate it. I have been FC Neo Tokyo. I think that's the first time I've said it today. And Serena, do you have a pitch for these people? I want to scream at them and shake them and just say, like, hit that subscribe button, like, and all that stuff. But
You can be bad cop, I'll be good cop and say, if you like us at all, just be nice and hit that like button, subscribe, whatnot. Mitch will scream at you. So
yes, hopefully so I met this really nice lady at the dispensary who's super into the Fire, but like she's super into the Red Stars, which I need to get into the Red Stars. I was like ready to,
yeah,
and then all that bullshit with the old coach and all that bullshit happened. So I didn't, but I'm ready to. I'm ready to let the Red Stars into my life.
All right. Watch this space.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you.